In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
From beautiful Saline in southeastern Michigan.
Around the world at sunsky.mysteries.com.
This is the 2009 Top 10 Webcam in the World winner. This is SETV.
Good morning, everybody. This is a Surrounded by Idiots morning update. Remember, as you go through your day and listen to all of the talking heads and your various news stories, remember, you heard it here first. This morning, there are some stories that we are watching. As you know, Tricky Berry out there in Washington, D.C., has invoked executive privilege over the Fast and Furious program. What we have that we are going to be covering tonight is an article. This is an article that combines information from 2008, 2009, and the present date, including the contempt charge against Attorney General Eric Holder. Here is a quote from the Attorney General at sometime in the past, 2009. As President Obama indicated during the campaign, there are just a few gun-related changes that we would like to make, and among them would be to reinstitute the ban on the sale of assault weapons. I think that it will have a positive impact in Mexico at a minimum. Ironically, in a letter Holder sent to Obama this past Tuesday, that would have been 2 days ago, because today is June 21st, 6:05 a.m., asking the President to invoke executive privilege and refusing to comply with the subpoena from the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee seeking documents related to the Fast and Furious gun-walking operation. Holder used language to describe the operation that echoed the language that White House Press Secretary Gibbs had used in 2009 to describe the substance of Obama's gun-stopping pledge to Mexican President Calderon. The subpoena relates to the committee's investigation into Operation Fast and Furious, which was a law enforcement operation conducted by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the ATF, and the United States Attorney General's Office in the District of Arizona to stem the illegal flow of firearms from the United States to drug cartels in Mexico, the Fast and Furious program. Holder wrote to the President, the committee has scheduled a meeting for June 20, 2012 to vote on a resolution holding me in contempt of Congress for failing to comply with the subpoena. And thus, he asked that executive privilege be invoked, which Tricky Berry has decided to do. Rather than stem the flow of arms from the United States to Mexico, as Obama pledged to Calderon he would seek to do, the administration under Fast and Furious actually allowed guns to be purchased within the United States by known straw buyers for the Mexican drug cartels. In its resolution recommending the House hold Holder in contempt, the Oversight Committee described the essence of Fast and Furious, which began in November of 2009, 10 months after Obama made his anti-gun trafficking pledge to the Mexican president, and 9 months after Holder and Napolitano publicly stated they were personally working on the gun trafficking issue. Of course they were. During Fast and Furious, ATF agents used an investigative technique known as gun walking. That is, using illegally purchased weapons and allowing them to be transferred to third parties without attempting to disrupt or deter the illegal activity. ATF agents abandoned their surveillance, resulting in the death of United States federal officers. That is part of the actual language from the contempt citation that Tricky Berry has decided to invoke executive privilege about. Our other story that we are watching goes like this. There were 255 illegal aliens from countries such as Pakistan and Iran that have been officially linked to terrorism by the United States government, apprehended along the southern border of the United States. You remember, Rumors of War 3, that we did a 3-hour show about the video over at GBTV, Rumors of War 3. 255 aliens from countries such as Pakistan and Iran have been arrested along the United States southern border in fiscal year 2011. In fiscal year 2011, that would be October 1st, 2010 through September 30th, 2011, the Border Patrol, under the auspices of the United States Customs and Border Protection Agency, arrested a total of 327,577 illegal aliens. Among those arrested were 46,997 other than Mexican illegal aliens attempting to get in the country. And yet, we leave the border as porous as a sieve. One has to wonder what they're doing. The other story that we are following is $9 billion. Tricky Berry distributed $9 billion in stimulus funds to solar and wind projects in 2009 to 2011. That resulted in 910 direct jobs, or $9.8 million per job. Where can I get one of them jobs? At the same time, those green energy projects also created in the end about 4,600 indirect jobs for a total of $1.9 million each. So, if you take the 910 jobs, 4,600 jobs, which equals 5,510 jobs, the jobs cost per job is $1.63 million each. You got to wonder how much of that money actually went to the employees, to the people who got those jobs. I bet that was like less than 1%. We're also going to talk tonight on Surrounded by Idiots about the Exicom Corporation. These people know more about you than you know about yourself. The other big piece of news that we need to talk about, and you are going to hear about this all day long. Remember, you heard it here first on the SBI Morning Update. Nancy Pelosi said Obama should raise the debt limit directly, go around Congress. Nancy Pelosi, now says that President Obama should use the 14th Amendment to raise the debt ceiling by fiat to preserve the country's credit rating and avoid another economically harmful brinkmanship over the country's borrowing limit. This is just absolutely insane. Pelosi says, I'm a big fan of the Constitution. The credit validity of the United States shall not be in question. The validity of the public debt of the United States authorized, this is the 14th Amendment to the Constitution, by the way, the validity of the public debt of the United States authorized by law, including debts incurred for payment of pensions and bounties for services in suppressing insurrection or rebellion, shall not be questioned. The key part, authorized by law, which means a debt incurred by a legislative act of Congress, not a declaration made by some illegal alien masquerading as a leader. A raising of the debt ceiling must be authorized by law to be legitimate. Pelosi may be a fan of the Constitution, but she's probably too stupid to actually understand it. Now remember, The entire point of this little exercise here by Pelosi is that she thinks Obama should declare the debt ceiling unconstitutional by executive order. Executive Order 74,936. I hereby declare that the debt ceiling is unconstitutional, thereby wiping out the 14th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States. Have a nice day. Back in 2008, this is what I warned all of you about on several of my commentaries that are probably still floating around somewhere on the internet. This is what liberation theology gets you every time. This is what investing in progressive, liberal politics gets you every single time. This is what electing a Marxist as president gets you every single time. Read the guy's books that he wrote, apparently himself. This is why I call him Near-Obama, because while he fiddles, Rome burns. Let me be the first to say it. Impeach him now. But you can't do that, because you're going to get President Biden if he is removed from office. Then you'll have President Joseph Biden, and that ass clown couldn't find a roll of toilet paper, let alone rule a country. Apparently, we're stuck with Obama, so never mind about the impeachment thing. My name's Bill Zam. We'll see you tonight on Surrounded by Idiots, 7 p.m. Eastern at Selene Entertainment Television, SETV, Selene, ETV.com, SunSkyMysteries.com, or SurvivalThroughInformation.com. Have a nice day, and remember, you heard it here first.